Okay, so this is my lesson plan for the issue that I had contacted a teacher that I know about. Um, so the issue is, let's see here, the students are struggling when it comes to understanding the concept of basic addition and subtraction. So basically, she's been working on basic addition and subtraction, mainly addition, because she's having a tough time getting over that hump of the students not understanding the full concept of basic addition. Mainly, she's been working on single digit addition and doing here and there single digit subtraction. So I kind of put together a lesson plan and a plan of action for how she can address said issue. These students are in the first grade, so roughly 6 to 7 years of age. The curriculum and standards alignment, I'll be aligning the lesson plans with the CCSS 1.car.8. Apply understanding of the equal sign to determine if equations involving addition and subtraction are true or false. And the ISTE standard 1.3.D. Explore real-world issues. Students build knowledge by actively exploring real-world issues and problems, developing ideas and theories, and pursuing answers and solutions. So I've picked out a couple technology tools for this teacher to use. The first one is IXL Learning. I actually used this when I was in middle school. It didn't come about till I was about middle school age. This is a very popular technology tool that you can use in the classroom. A bunch of teachers use it. I've substitute taught at local schools around Russellville, and basically what you can do is you can go in and assign any of these that you see on the screen. It doesn't stop here of what you see. It goes on and on and on. But you can basically assign a certain number of these. I know my teachers, when we did this when I was younger, would assign a letter to us to do. So say I wanted to assign letter O to my students right here. That would be I would say go in and do letter O 1 through 10. So basically addition, subtraction, word problems up to 10. So students can go in there and do them on their own time. A lot of students like to think it's busy work, but it's very helpful work for students to do, and I believe that if it weren't for IXL, I wouldn't have an understanding of some topics that I had struggled with at the time. So this is a really awesome way of having students do things on their own, and you can also do a lesson with it, which this is part of the lesson. So using this with a lesson is a very strong strategy. I have learned from personal experience. Cool Math Games, I'm sure everybody knows what Cool Math Games is. Basically, Cool Math Games, it is a website. Yeah, it has some non-educational games on it, but in today's age, from what I remember in like high school and middle school, teachers have access to the students' Chromebooks that they are assigned to, and they can control what tabs are open and what they're on and whatnot. So you can go in here and you can monitor them and make sure they are playing math games. So this specific one gives you math problems, and you got to solve them within a certain time limit before this AI opponent solves it. And whoever has the most points between you or the AI opponent at the end of the round will win. So it kind of gives students an incentive. You can even go into having students compete against each other. You can say whoever gets the most points out of the class wins a piece of candy or whatever. So it's one of those things that you can do as a fun game break, because we've discussed in this class, in this course, that about games in the classroom, and I took the stance of games do belong in the classroom in certain instances, and I do believe that students in today's age with the technology we have need a break from just sitting in a classroom and listening, and they do need some time to play games for them to learn and grasp concepts that you're teaching. Next one, I have not used ABC Mouse, so I'm not going to have a lot to say about it, but I do know some people who have used it, and they say it is an amazing tool for their child or children or whatnot, whoever's using it, to use. This is an example. I don't know how this game is supposed to work, but you can see this is one of the games on ABC Mouse, and single digits addition right here. It kind of gives the students a chance to remember visually what addition and subtraction is. Really, all of these technology tools do that, and they give the students a chance to see a visual. A lot of students these days, not all of them, but a lot of them, learn visually instead of by hearing. So these technology tools help really well on that aspect. The learning objective for my lesson plan is for students to understand the relationship between addition and subtraction operations, including inverse operations. So I have some not assignments, but some tools to use. So this isn't single digit, but it just kind of gives you an idea. You can change all this to single digit. So you have a missing answer here. You have a missing number in this circle here. Okay, so basically you can teach it this way. You can take this and show the students, and you can say, okay, so I'm adding these two numbers to get this number up here, which is pretty easy to show as an example. I know I didn't learn this specifically, but I learned something similar, and it really helped with addition and subtraction. So with this concept, you have the missing number down here, so that tells you that this is going to be your answer in the equation. So you're going to take 73 and subtract 48 from it, and that's what they did up here. They used this to figure out, okay, that's 25, which you could do this with smaller numbers, like you can put 5 up here and have this missing and do 3. Then you come up here and say, okay, so 5 is my answer, I'm subtracting 3 from it, and that'll equal 2. So it's a very easy way for students to see a visual concept for them to help them identify what the operation is. This is a bar model. I learned this in elementary school. Once again, these are big numbers, not small numbers. So basically the best way I can describe it is your answer, or the biggest number in the equation, will always go in the biggest box. So 96 is the biggest number in this instance. Your smallest number will always go in the smallest box, so 29. So this tells me that I'm adding the smallest number in the given equation to something to get 96. So, given that information, we're going to see that you have 29 plus something equals 96. So let's flip that around a little bit and do 96 minus 29 equals something. Very similar to the previous model that I showed you, the part whole model, but it's a different aspect. So basically same thing as the part whole model, gives students a visual aid in learning this. You can do worksheets with the part whole model and the bar model and have them do that and fill it out, and then that'll help them identify specifically what operation they're doing. So word problems is big. Students need to know how to identify operations in a word problem. This is one of the things that the teacher I talked to is struggling with. So basically, simple word problems that you can use. So Hannah completes the following calculation: 2 plus 3 equals 5. Which calculations could you use to check Hannah's answers? So basically what this word problem does is it helps students identify inverse operations, but also helps them know that you can check answers that you get by using the opposite operations, inverse operations. So we're going to look at this and tell the students, okay, so 2 plus 3 equals 5. So we want to flip this around a little bit and say, okay, so we have 5 is the answer, so we're going to subtract what? 2, and that's going to equal 3. You can describe it that way, or you can just do this. Mark that plus sign out, draw an equal sign. Mark this equal sign out and draw a subtraction sign. Simple as that. And you'll see on this next slide, I have the answers. Same thing on this next one. You can do, this is one with subtraction. Let's go ahead and mark that equal sign out and put an addition sign. And then let's just mark this subtraction sign out and put an equal sign. So now, in order to check the work, you have, okay, so 10 minus 6 equals 4. Now we have 4 plus 6 equals 10. Okay, so that tells me and the students that we're not adding 10 to 6 or 10 to 4 to check the answer. We're adding 6 plus 4 or 6 minus 4, as seen up here. Okay, and here's the answers. Oh, not 6 minus 4. You get the concept. Okay, so this is these are big numbers, but it kind of gives you an idea. Noah has 479 toy cars in his collection. Let's go ahead and mark this out and say Noah has 10. Okay, and say he gets some new cars for his birthday. So mark that out and say he now has 13. Okay, how many cars did he get for his birthday? Well, let's see. So the math comes out. You can use bar models for word problems as another visual aid. But this comes into play. You need the students to know where to plug the numbers into. So knowing that 13 is our final answer after, like, this is how many cars he has after his birthday. So now we're going to plug 13 into the big box. We're going to put 10 into the medium sized box. So that tells the student, okay, let's subtract right here and have an equal sign right there. So this kind of shows over here on the sides a visual of the thought process that goes into plugging in numbers to boxes. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me, and if not, just thank you for taking your time to listen to my lesson plan.